Hello, everybody. It's Paul. I'm reporting live from my sofa. It is Saturday evening. I had a long few days at work. I've been in work zone, so I kind of disappeared, and I'm back. Before we get going, if you like what I'm cooking and you want to know when the plates are served, hit the dinner bell that you see below and subscribe and pull a chair up to the table, and let's get to dishing. So, everybody knows, at this point I'm going to go over a little briefly with an article that a few of you dropped in the comment section. We are all waiting for March 7th. It literally feels like early Christmas. We are possibly going to be getting some answers here. We don't know, and that's the huge thing of it all. So what I want to do is I want to go over just some quick points from this ABC News article about the 7th. And then I just want to kind of have a little bit of a free flow, go over some of my thoughts about it, what could possibly be happening, why it could possibly be happening, and just kind of like let my brain go. So here we go. Again, this is an article by ABC News. Several of you dropped it. Thank you very much. And basically, it's about the man of the hour, Chris Watts. And he has given new details. And we are all very excited to hopefully finally be getting some answers. So, I'm just going to go over some little points here. Investigators visited a convicted killer, Chris Watts, at the Dodge Correctional Institution in Wisconsin on February 18th. One of you made a comment, side note, that this is the same place that Stephen Avery is housed at. Mind blown on that one. It's almost worth a trip. That'll be another video. Anyways, so Wisconsin, he had more information about the murders of his family, Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation said in a Thursday statement. Let's see. At the meeting with Watts were Frederick Police Department Detective Dave Baumhover, FBI Special Agent Graham Coder, and CBI Agent Tammy Lee, according to an inmate visitation log. So we have three people there. The CBI said it plans to release a written report and audio file in the interview on March 7th. Then it goes into some backstory here about what stuff we already know. We've been talking about it. Now, this is the part that I think is interesting and worthy of a little bit of dissection. Chris Watts' father, Ronnie Watts, said his son did not tell him the details about the conversation. But Ronnie Watts told ABC News Thursday, "In my heart, I know he didn't kill those girls." Ronnie Watts said his son calls him every night and knows that Bible inside and out. So let's unpack this a little bit. So, Ronnie, of course, was the one that Chris brought into the confession room and told his father all this stuff. So I think it's interesting that he says he hasn't told me what the details in the conversation are. He's either lying or he authentically doesn't know. But he also says that Chris calls him every single night. So that makes me think, well, if he's calling you every night, why isn't he telling you what's taking place in the conversation? He knows the Bible inside and out. I mean, let's visit that for a second. I mean, what else can you say at this point? It's like, you've got to, he found Jesus. That's where he needs to be at. So I almost think that he's saying that. I'm sure that Chris is reading the Bible. I'm sure that he's claiming he found Jesus. What else really could he say for himself at this point? And the fact that his father's saying that, it almost makes me think, okay, so now this is going to start getting into what I think is going on and why or whatever. One of the things I think he possibly could be doing, because there's another thing, and I don't know where all these articles are, and I should be a little bit better organized about this. I know. But someone, I think in the comment section, dropped another link to some. I feel like I saw somewhere that someone close to the source said essentially that, yeah, he's definitely giving more information on the motives or something like that. But don't hold me to that. I feel like maybe he's found God and he's reading the Bible and he's like, let me come clean. Let me just, say my piece. And that could be. I think we're also hungry for it because we never got that satisfaction. Like, there was no trial, which I think it was probably best that there was no trial, but it left us very hungry for the why. And, it just kind of left off with him. It was very murky, so we want the truth out of it. I just don't know if he's going to give the truth out of it. So I've seen some people saying, "Oh, well, he's gonna throw Nicole under the bus. He's gonna clear Nicole's name." I mean, it could go any which way. I feel like if he was throwing Nicole under the bus, now granted, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, she's in some kind of witness protection at this point. Like, we don't really know what's going on with her. I feel like if he was coming out and saying, like, yeah, she did it, right over there, she did it, or whatever, throwing her under the bus and, or ratting her out, whatever. I almost feel like maybe that would be out by now, because I feel like maybe they would have gone and apprehended her. I don't know. Part of me, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me for him to come out and to kind of be like, look, I did this. This is on my own. Nicole didn't have anything to do with this. My parents hugged me enough when I was a kid. Yada, yada, yada. Maybe like he read the Bible and he's just like, you know what, let me own up to my own sins and that kind of thing or whatever. Find redemption, whatever. And also, part of that reasoning is, I mean, that would be basically come out with the truth. That would be the end all in it, but it would also be an inclination of, okay, so obviously this guy is very impressionable. He pretty much does whatever he's told, which is one reason why a lot of people think like maybe somebody else has something to do with it or whatever. But you know how like his mom the whole time was like Cindy was like, I can't talk to him, I can't talk to him, I can't talk to him. I mean, if she has this much control over him, it is only in her best interest that she got a hold of him and was basically like, you need to go public and clear my name, the family's name, whatever. Like, you need to, whatever you did, like, because the backlash that they're getting, and all of them are getting, it would only be in their best interest. So part of me wonders if that could be a motivation, and if that's what's going to come out or whatever. Again, if he jumped out there and said, Nicole Kissinger was, she did this, or she helped me with that, or whatever, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it is. I think what he's going to say is going to surprise us in a way that something we weren't expecting. I just don't see him saying that about Nicole. I just don't. I think even if she did, I don't see him doing that. I just don't see it happening. I don't know why I feel that, but I just don't. God help the man if he comes out and kind of perpetuates what he said before. Like if he sits in and I walked in and she was strangling the kids. I mean, that would be a surprise to me just because I would be like, are you serious? Like, that's what you're coming at us with? So, I mean, I've gone over it, not the article, I mean, I have gone over the article, but I just have mulled over it and over it and over it in my mind. And here's another thing, I'm scrolling through here, and so Ronnie says also in this article, it's over and done with, Ronnie Watts of the case. I am confused why the investigators, went out there in the first place. So, I just don't believe that Ronnie doesn't know anything that was told to these investigators. I just think what is going to come out is going to kind of just not be that, dun dun dun. I know a lot of people are thinking like, oh, and hey, hold me to it if I'm wrong. But I think a lot of people are expecting a bombshell type situation, and I just don't see it happening. I think that Chris is probably going to be like this it's just going to end up being like almost like very passive, I'm taking ownership of the situation, because someone got up to him, whether it was his mother or his conscience or whatever, I don't think he has one, and he's just trying to take the whole thing. So, now, one thing that makes me question it, because obviously the guy's crazy enough and broken enough, whatever we're going to call it, to slay his whole family over something. He is in prison on some really bad charges, things that are not cool to be in prison over. I mean, he will always be, personally, I would have been like, give me the death penalty, just give me the death penalty, sign me up, and take me out and shoot me. Because I'm like, it's just, he's going to always be looking over his shoulder, whether it's for guards that want retaliation, other inmates that want retaliation. I am assuming he is in some kind of solitary confinement that is in his best interest, and to live out the rest of his life like that is, why would you want to do that? So if he comes out and says anything further to be like, yeah, you know what? I know I said some tawdry stuff about she killed the kid, so I killed her, and this, that, and the other, yada yada yada. Which doesn't even make sense, but I mean, it's just not going to further his case for him to take total ownership of that. But if he has been in the solitary confinement bubble, maybe he hasn't. I mean, it's one thing for people to say you're in danger, you're in danger, you're in danger, but it's another thing to experience that. And so that's why I'm like, well, if he comes out and takes total ownership of this, I mean, and maybe 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 he wants to commit suicide that way. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking out loud and working through this. This is how my brain's been going ever since this has come out. This has been me at work, not paying attention. So that's what I think is going to be interesting. So I'm very curious. I'm going to quit rambling because I'm exhausted. And I'm just kind of mulling over the same things here. I was going to have this somewhat free flow thing, but now I can see I'm all over the place and I apologize. But I also kind of wanted to have a video like this where I just talked out loud about it because there's so many options. And at the end of the day, we really don't know. And I mean, no one's going to know until March 7th. And I am praying. And then I can set my alarm. I hope that somebody has that information, like crack of dawn type thing. Because I am just going to be dying to read it and dying to make a video and come on here and see what everybody's talking about. And I just love how everybody came to the comment section and was dropping that, like, March 7th, March 7th, March 7th. I'm very curious to hear from y'all what you're thinking. You know, what do you think the possibilities of what he's going to say are? Why do you think those are the possibilities? And I think that's a huge question too. I think probably more than what he's going to say, it's why is he going to say it. I guess that's what I'm questioning the most. It's like, what's his intentions? Because like I said, there's so many different things and there's so many different influences that could be impacting him, and that would make a huge difference to me. Because if he gets up there and says some stuff that I'm just like, yeah, that's his mother speaking basically, or maybe he's trying to protect Nicole, or who knows. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I guess because the fact that he killed his whole family, I find it really hard to believe that this guy's going to be like, I just want to do everyone some good and tell the truth. I mean, I'm just not seeing it. Especially this quickly into it. I figured, I think I said in one of my videos, oh, it'll be a long time, it'll be years, and he'll kind of finally come clean. Well, I mean, my gosh, it hasn't even been a year. He just, they just gave him his prison blues basically and dusted him off and sent him on his way. So that's where I'm just like, okay, this is just, it's never ending. My gosh. So anyways, I hope everybody is having a great weekend. I hope you continue to have a great weekend. Thank you for all your support, and I am going to talk to you all later.